Last week, we talked about the modern audience freaking out about Capcom's new game, Pragmata. They were extremely offended by the game, complaining about it all over places like Reddit and Blue Sky. Hasan Piker, Twitch streamer, also went on a giant, bizarre, out-of-touch rant about the game and about gamers, which, as mentioned, I talked about last week, but Shoe0nHead has made a new video in which she also addresses what Hasan said, and her statement, her response is pretty hilarious. Now, considering that I already talked about what Hasan said, I'm not going to have too much commentary on this. There's one thing I definitely do want to talk about early on in the clip, so I'll pause there momentarily. But then the rest of it, I think I'll just play uninterrupted, so here we go.
Oh, you want to meet a woman and settle down and have a family? Maybe have a house, 2 dogs? You sick f***. We've reached radioactive levels of incel propaganda. What the f*** does incel mean anymore? I feel like I ask this in every single video. This tweet got thousands of likes. I feel like I am going insane. Where does the incel part come from? Like, they want men to be open about their emotions, and then men are open about their emotions, and then they're just called Nazis or incels or both. Usually both. It's usually a package deal. And this tweet came from a man, to make things worse. A grown-ass man saw another grown-ass man speaking about the normal human desire to want a family and want children one day, and called him an incel. Cockroach behavior.
Alright, after that she gets to the Hasan part, so unfortunately we're gonna have to play like 30 seconds of a Hasan clip for the context. It is what we talked about last week as mentioned, but if you haven't seen it, you'll see it in a second, and if you've seen it already, unfortunately, you'll get a refresher. And then Shoe0nHead's gonna completely dismantle this guy, but we'll get to that as mentioned momentarily. So let's pause here. Tweet says, if Capcom's goal with Pragmata was to make everyone who plays this game want to be a parent, then they've done an amazing job. As Shoe0nHead points out, this really creepy guy then decides to respond to that. He's all offended. Says, we've reached radioactive levels of incel propaganda, which, as she pointed out, is of course insane. And this word really means nothing nowadays. It is another buzzword that has been completely watered down. They went down the entire list, right? Used to be everyone's racist, everyone's homophobic, everyone's transphobic. Now everyone's an incel, far right, Nazi, alt-right, whatever, you know, it's all a bunch of words that mean literally nothing nowadays, coming from people that have no good argument and no merit, so they resort to these buzzwords that also doesn't accomplish anything because no one cares about these buzzwords. You know what's funny too? It's always the most low-bar, trashy people that are calling others incels online, which I don't think is coincidence. Back to Shoe's video, she goes on to play the aforementioned Hasan clip, so prepare yourself for this, and I'll fast forward it a little bit to take an edge off the incoming pain that you're going to experience from this clip, but it's all worth in the end, because you'll see Shoe's response right after.
In any case, what is this? Capcom's Pragmata. Wait, did it come out already? Pragmata, it's making thousands of people suddenly want to start a family. You play as Hugh, a soldier, stranded on a ruined lunar research station. His job is protecting the childlike android Diana while fighting rogue AI. In one emotional moment, she gives him a crayon drawing of the two of them together as a little family. Even streamers who say at the start they didn't want kids end up breaking down happy in tears. So what's really interesting about this is all of these unfuckable losers in the gaming sphere always talk about like starting families and stuff. And I don't understand like why this has become a thing that they care about. Like, if you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience. You should care about things that you actually enjoy, right? If you're a lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never have sex with a woman, why do you care? Like, why do you care about having children or like riding for having children? Like, it's just not something that you're going to experience ever for your life, for the rest of your life, right? This is something that I never understand.
Wow, maybe there's a reason people are yearning to start a family and can't afford to have one and can't seem to find a partner. They feel alienated from their work and atomized from their community. If only there was a political commentator around to speak about all this. Oh well, guess not. First of all, the only care about something if it affects you is extremely libertarian coded and also very weird coming from a guy who understandably wants everybody to care about a genocide that is happening across the ocean. Second of all, what is this nihilistic horseshit? Yeah, never aspire for anything, never aim for greatness and meaning. This is the dude the media wants us to believe is going to save young men from the alt-right pipeline. Yeah, okay. And I love how he's like, unfuckable losers. Like, okay, congrats on the sex, bro. Check out this sex haver over here. I'm sure all those unfuckable losers could easily go to foreign brothels and pay for sex like you, Hasan. Something weird about a man who could easily, consensually get sex from a woman but chooses to go to a brothel. I don't know. Just saying. Also, 35? No kids? Like, I'm sorry, that just pisses me off. Like, sitting in his ugly ass $600 Gucci sweater. I swear I've never seen this guy in a fucking normal ass t-shirt. Sitting on his high horse, looking down at people for wanting something more out of life. I don't understand how someone could be so mentally mind raped that this is their reaction to such like a simple, wholesome concept. Like, literally, no joke, the entire meaning of life is somehow confusing to Hasan Piker.
That clip's been going around Twitter, that's where it ends, but you'll notice this tweet on screen at the very end that says anti-natalist. If I saw a child that looked like that, I'd probably attack it. So this person advocating for violence against literal children. And I gotta see what Shoe says about this one. So let's go to her video and take a little bit more of a look than the clip that's been going around.
Anti-natalist. If I saw a child that looked like that, I'd probably attack it. I felt like hitting her. The right-wing nutjobs seeing this and feeling paternal instincts are just predators. The only instinct I feel as a man right now is self-defense. I want to kill it. Yes, the ones saying they want to protect a kid are the predators, not the ones saying they want to kill it.
And let's talk about that grown man saying that he feels an instinct of self-defense when he sees Diana and he wants to, you know, eliminate her, we'll say. That's not self-defense, bro. That is literally you just being a complete weirdo. And in what world is that guy actually thinking that the other people are the nut jobs? Like, he actually says something that's a complete nut job take, and he calls other people nut jobs. Every single time I talk about people like this, which is, you know, essentially a daily occurrence, I gotta point out that these people have no self-awareness at all. It is just so obvious. You can see it every single time. These people have no thinking skills. They got no self-awareness, but they do spend a lot of time on social media talking about how everything offends them. You know, it's the one thing they got going on in life. They can spend their whole life being offended at stuff. Great life.
The only thing I felt while watching this is pure bloodlust for that annoying creature. I hate children so much. Before you come at me, yes, I'm a 35-year-old crazy cat lady and proud of it. Stay mad. First of all, every time you see a little smiley face like that, that's how you know that person is madder than they've ever been in their entire life. Listen, obviously if you simply don't want kids, that's fine. Like, whatever. Not everyone wants kids. Not everyone wants to be a parent. But the societal attitude, the difference between men and women here, how they handle this situation is so, like, fascinating to me.
I'm probably never having kids. I'm probably gonna play video games for the rest of my life. I'm probably gonna be as hot for as long as I can. And I'm probably gonna keep making money. That's probably what's gonna happen for the next 40 years until I die. People are just gonna keep being mad at me about it. Menopause is gonna hit me like a brick wall, but at least I will be getting the bag until then. You don't want kids? I'll do it whenever I want. I don't think I'm running out of time.
Absolute delusion.
So Valkyrae and Hasan are supposedly dating, and what a perfect combination, huh? They both are so vain, and they both have this, like, soulless thing going on. It's like husk vibes, you know? There's just a lack of life there. It's sad. That part, like, I'm not even insulting them. It's actually a sad thing. No one forces them to be like this, though. They don't have to be like this, but, you know, this is the path that they choose. These are grown adults, well into adulthood. This is the path that they choose to take. It is what it is. So it seems like a great video from Shoe. I'll link the full video in the description for you. This, of course, was just a couple small portions of the full thing. I hope you guys all have a lovely rest of your week. As always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.